Hey, what's up? I thought I'd record this little video to show you how one email can literally change your fortunes in a fundraise. I'm going to show you exactly what I did for a client, Carlos, who got ghosted for months, and then one email brought him a $500,000 check. So this is a system I use all the time with my clients. It has a ridiculously high success rate. I hope you use it, and I'm going to give you the step by step what we did and why we did it. So let's get into it. Let's make my face a little smaller here. Okay, cool. So on the left, you see the original email Carlos sent. Carlos had sent 4 emails over the last 3 months and was unable to basically reactivate this investor. He had given her a deck at some point before, and he thought she would be perfect for his company, but he had sent email after email without hearing back. This is pretty common. I call this VC limbo. So basically, you might have had a first contact, you might have had a first meeting, but then you just don't hear back, or they're just kicking the ball down the road. They're giving you the runaround basically, and you don't see the process moving, and you don't know what to do because if you're too pushy, you seem desperate, don't want to do that, and you really don't know the inner workings of the VC, their decision process. So in the end, what happens oftentimes is VCs just stretch out the process, and then you get a pass email like 2 months down the road. We don't want that. So I'm going to show you how not to get one of those. On the left, we see Carlos' email. So Carlos gave me his permission to use this email, but he also made a bunch of mistakes in this email. Maybe you've not made all of them. Maybe you've made some of them. If this helps you in any way, I'm happy. Okay, so let's look at the email. Right off the bat, we see it's pretty long. So if we go in it, the first 2 paragraphs, we could basically cut. There is a lot of pleasantries. There's also a lot of low status language. So I'm going to show you. So just thanking profusely. Please don't worry about this or that. Yeah, we know you're busy, etc. And there's quite a bit of information that Geza, the investor, just doesn't need. So they finished an application to a grant program. This is not relevant. So we want to get the investor reading to the end. If the first 2 paragraphs are already not relevant, chances are they're not gonna read all the way down. So let's do this. Let's just start off by Geza. He had sent a few emails before, so I'd go with something like wanted to give this a bump. Casual language, not thanking her for anything. She hasn't really replied to anything. And we don't want to be generic, so let's leave out the pleasantries. Let's make it a little stronger. So why are we giving this a bump? Why? And then what a lot of people do is hedging in emails. So if it works out, it's great. If it doesn't, it's also okay. And I believe that people don't like hedging. So we want to give Geza some unconditional love. So why are we giving this a bump? Because you're still our first choice. That's good. That's pleasant. And then let's put like a pat on the back for us in there. Can't blame me for swinging for for being persistent. Can you? So right here, a little bit cheeky what we did. We painted ourselves as persistent, which is a great founder trend, and nobody's gonna blame you for that if you do it with a smile, you know. So this is great, and we cut a lot of stuff here. So let's go paragraph 3 in Carlos's email. So what do we have here? we actually have a CTA in here. So he offers to have a meeting on Thursday. Does that work for you? Why is that not great? The CTA should be the last thing in your email. This CTA is buried in the middle, and there's a bunch of stuff to read afterwards. So once I get to the end of the email, I won't even know what to do. So I might do nothing. And that's exactly what Geza did. Also, here we've attached two documents. Documents already sounds like a lot to read. People hate reading, and they don't do it most of the time. Current deck, core information, don't know what that means. A deck, presumably. And then additionally, that's even more reading. A proposal seems like a lot of text. Short-term planning. So basically this is, please do all this for us. Please read all this stuff. This is not what I can do for you. It's what you should do for me. So how would we do this? First of all, we wouldn't send anything with this email because this is just a follow-up. We wouldn't send any attachments. And what do we want to show her? We want to show her that we're not desperate. So we have other people investing. We want to show her that things are moving forward. So momentum, very important for investors. So let's tell her what happened during all that time she didn't get back to us. So something like last week, we closed another 500K. But we did save, a ticket for you. So what does this do? It shows momentum. We closed other investors. And this baby shows that, well, there might not be that many tickets left, but we saved one for you. So it creates scarcity and it creates urgency. Powerful behavioral triggers that do work. But you should do them in a sort of like kind and nice way. Not like a countdown running out or something, as people know from websites. Okay, so we've shown some momentum. Really, the only thing missing here is a good CTA. Let's look into the original email. This one, perfectly fine, but it is also very generic. If you have any further questions, please let us know at any time. You read that on any email you get from, I don't know, maybe the government or something. It's too formal. So people don't necessarily love formal language, especially not startup investors. Casual people, most of them. So, and this part, again, we're looking forward to exchanging ideas with you. It can be cut. It doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't, that's the important thing, it doesn't really add anything. So it doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy because it's still generic. And then down here, best regards, enjoy your weekend. Also generic, but more importantly, it is low status. So we don't want to come across as lower status than the investor, but we want to be at eye level with them. These things don't do that. So what is better is maybe no greeting at the end. And we're just gonna go for something like, so we saved a ticket for her. Sound good? If so, no, then let's set up a call for Thursday afternoon. She might not be available Thursday afternoon, and then she just comes back and says, "Oh, Friday." And then I like to do no greeting because, again, it doesn't add anything. And this, the brevity of it, this is less than a tweet. I think this is less than 280 characters. So we've cut down a lot from this email. The brevity of this also gives us higher status. Shows that we're busy, shows that we're not sucking up to her. People want to do business with other high status people. That's true for sales. It's also true for fundraising. So we cut all the pleasantries. We cut all the fluff. Basically, we have a simple CTA. So this is also important. You want a CTA that they can answer with either yes, no, or something super short, because people don't want to write long emails. And we've created some momentum, some scarcity, and some urgency. This email, almost verbatim, we sent out. We had an answer 2 hours later, and she was in, and she invested $500K. So I hope this example is helpful for you. Try it out. Go for some momentum, scarcity, urgency, and high status. And most of all, cut at least half of your email's text. And let me know how you get on. If you'd like my help in booking meetings with investors, and most importantly, telling a billion-dollar story about yourself and your vision that gets you the money you need, then book a call below. Ciao.